There's no question that America is the best-fed nation in the world. You've only to consider your own meals of the last 24 hours. The variety, the nourishment, the good taste, and, of course, the ease of preparation. And truly, we want for very little, we Americans. And today's housewife has a much easier time of it than, say, her mother and grandmother before her. In no small measure, credit for this era of abundance and convenience must go to the people of General Foods. Not just the people who make the fine products of General Foods, not just the people who make all the money, but the people who make all the mistakes, the marketing men. Unsung heroes, the Baxters, the Withams, the Pranskys, the Jakes, the Bogans, the Jeffreys, the Kolesics, and an all-time great, Howard R. Bloomquist. Howard Richard Bloomquist. The man we salute here this afternoon. The man who has sent more copywriters back to do it over again than any other man except George Gribben. We talked to some people about Howard Bloomquist, and we've recorded these comments here for all posterity. Listen closely now, as America speaks, on a topic of great concern to all of us.
This gentleman here, Don Knotts, would you be kind enough to tell us what you think of Howard Bloomquist?
Well, we conquered polio, and we're making great progress with cancer, so I don't think there's too much to worry about. Now, let's see. My association with H.R. Bloomquist goes back to the days when Post first sponsored the Andy Griffith Show. And I don't care what anybody says, I like Howard. And I was sorry to see you leave Post, and now I find out that we're not going to get to work with you on Jell-O products either. Well, don't you worry any, Howard. You'll get a job somewhere, a man of your talents. You know, I'll always cherish those memories of the time you stopped by to see us a couple of years back when you were on your way to the Largo to talk to Miss Sweden. Mighty nice of you to interrupt your business like that. Your old friend Danny Thomas would have loved to have been here today, but he's back home in Lebanon, you know. And I hear one of the things he's doing is looking into some kind of a new product they got out there, something called post-grape leaves. You might want to talk to him when he gets back. But Danny told me to tell you, he said, those blue eyes and blonde hair, they don't fool him a bit. To him, you're still Howard Bloom. Well, before I sign off here, I want to say it's been a pleasure working with you, Howard. The whole gang from Mayberry would sure like to be associated with some of those new products you'll be handling, though not necessarily through the agencies that now handle them. How'd I say that? Pretty good, Mr. Ney?
Good luck in your new job, Howard. But you know something? I just can't understand why any man would want to leave Jell-O for SOS. Isn't that the stuff they serve for breakfast in the Army? It almost cost us the war, for heaven's sake. Well, be that as it may, I'm a Howard Bloomquist fan for lots of reasons. For the things we have in common, I guess. For example, we both have blue eyes. Only mine are sort of Lake Louise blue. Yours are more like La France blue. Well, it'll certainly be nice to come back to Jell-O after 20 years. And I hear there are all kinds of innovations like fresh fruit taste, 12 flavors instead of 6, and baseball players on the back of the box. I'm a little disappointed you didn't ask me to appear on the backs of those boxes, Howard. You may not know this, but at one time, one Dixie Cup cover with Jack Benny's picture on it was worth 5 Ken Maynards or 3 Joan Crawfords. Well, so long, Howard, and congratulations on your promotion. Give my best to the family and say a special hello to your father-in-law, Charlie Mortimer.
Howard Bloomquist happens to be just a little bit better than most other clients happen to be. This guy Bloomquist is the world's greatest, the smartest, the handsomest, the wittiest, the brightest, the nicest, the...
Stop already! Don't you think you're overdoing it?
Overdoing it? Look, pal, you know what he did to that poor little chipmunk.
Howard, honey, this is Lucy. Nice guy you are. You buy my show for the fall, and I figure here's where I get to see my little Swedish meatball again. So what happens? Now you're leaving Jell-O. Well, congratulations and good luck in your new job anyway, Howard. And someday I know you're going to be running the whole show over there. Just think, Howard Bloomquist, president of Gallup and Robinson. Boy, what a career. Just about 15 years ago, you were fooling around with home permanents over at Tony. And today you got yourself a permanent home at General Foods. I thought you'd never move that far away from dreamland, Stickney, Illinois. Stickney, Illinois? Look, I know you have a reputation for being tough, maybe a little opinionated, sometimes stubborn. Well, I want to say for the record here and now that in all the years I've known you, you've been nothing but tough, opinionated, and stubborn. Gee whiz. Another thing, any guy who can smile so charmingly and be so beguiling all the while he's saying no should have been a girl. Howard, you know there's a crazy rumor out here that you bought the Lucille Ball show so it could appear each week in Life. Is that true, Howard? I know Burns Cody is a good buddy, but after all... Well, take care, Howard, and let's get together again soon, okay? But before I go, I would just like to quote you this favorite passage of mine. Always remember, Howard, as you go through life, there are 3 legs on the marketing stool: sales, marketing, and market research. Pectins!
Hello out there, this is Garry Moore, and what I've got is no secret. When people need help, they send out an SOS. When SOS needs help, they send for a Howard Bloomquist. Which is another way of saying it, this guy Bloomy is pretty great, and he is certainly going to be missed around here. Now then, how would I describe Howard? Well, he's a lot like Jell-O. Sparkling and colorful, and once he gels, there's very little you can do about it. He's as smooth as Jell-O pudding, as absorbing as minute rice, as quick as Jell-O instant. He's as sweet and pure as log cabin, and he can butter you up better than country kitchen. Like Dream Whip, he won't wilt, and he'll top anything. And like the new Baker's chocolate chips, he doesn't fade. However, unlike Pectins, Howard has a knack for getting out of jams. Like LaFrance, he can take things that are fuzzy and gray and make them come out clear and white. And then there's coconut. Howard, they tell me that the next Kool-Aid ad is going to show a big picture of the stuff with a smiling face of Howard Bloomquist drawn on it. And right alongside will be a little note reading, "Dear Howie, while I'm out shopping for new companies, help yourself to Kool-Aid and the rest of the SOS Perkins division. Invite your friends if you like, but be sure to clean up afterwards. Have fun. Signed, Uncle Wayne." My best wishes on your promotion, Howard. I'm sure that with luck, it's going to be loaded.